Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Lydia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. As we are expecting uh, our attendance, let me tell you that the webinar is going to be recorded so as to be posted on the space of the English as a Second Language group, and it can be viewed there as well. Now, the meeting will last for 40 minutes, so we could have your introduction, your talk, and then there is going to be a forum on the ESL group for any questions or any ideas on the topic of artificial intelligence that might be of interest to anyone. Yes. Yes, of course. Cameras will be off, obviously. Only Lydia's is going to be on. Lydia, is there anything you would like to, any technical thing that you would like to check?
Yeah, it's okay. I already tried sharing, but you started recording 5 minutes ago. So, well, 2 minutes ago. So everything is already recorded.
Yeah, I know because it's automatic, right? Okay, so we can start and people will be joining us. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Well, I hope you can see my screen shared now. Could somebody confirm that sharing is working? Yes.
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you. So let's try to say a few words about me. It's kind of complicated because I wear multiple hats. First of all, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher of mathematics and computer science, but after 26 years, I'm no longer working in the school. But I still work as a part of NGO activities, so still working with the students, with the teachers, with the parents, and whole education community. But also, I'm analyst on EU level, so analyzing different either educational policies, STEM, recovery and resilience, digital skills, and so on. And my main area of activities last few years is artificial intelligence and data in education, where I was part of a UNESCO expert group, Council of Europe, and also European Commission expert group. And here you could also see a little figure, a Lego mini figure of me in Genoa this autumn on one of the Erasmus projects. So, what people usually think about AI is that it is magical, it could solve every problem, and it is always very correct, very useful, very efficient, more efficient than we are. So myths are actually the technology can solve and can understand new problems better than the humans. Also, that intelligent machines learns on their own. They learn only when they are trained by humans and with algorithms written by the humans. Also, reading emotions, nonverbal signs could be very misleading and also very illegal, especially if you're in Europe. So, no AI machines could not understand those nonverbal signs correctly and could not understand the context of a written text. This is one of the reasons why we get so many errors and false information in the text created by artificial intelligence. As one of the benefits of the AI, especially comparing with teachers' everyday work, is yeah, the AI tool is very objective, very accurate, unlike the teachers, which I definitely argue with that because no, AI tools are not objective, and of course, not better than the teachers. And the funny thing is, yeah, AI tools will relieve teachers of administration, let them feel flourish life more exciting. I said, oh, come on, we have enough excitement in our everyday teaching. Please don't make it more exciting with the AI tools interfering with education. But what I wanted today lead you is towards the understanding of current EU regulations which are in a full implementations, but maybe you didn't have time to read it, or maybe you just didn't pay attention to implications. So, first of all, Digital Service Act, which is in a completely full implementation from February this year. So, one of the main articles talk about protection of the minorities on online platforms. I have to remind you that minorities in most European countries are students below age of 18, not 13, as platforms are trying to suggest, but also that job of those big stakeholders, big platforms, is to ensure that recipients are appropriately informed about how recommender system works and how they are creating environment not just for the minors but for all of us. Regarding some elements of a Digital Service Act, I would like to draw your attention to reward system. For example, TikTok got punishment from the European Commission because of the very dark patterns in their reward systems. But also, do you know how reward system works in educational apps you are using it? Just for example, Kahoot. Do you know how the points are given in that? Or if you're using more complex adaptive learning system, how recommendations and reward are working there, how the content are recommended within those system. Also, well, we actually, if we are using some educational tool, we would like our students to be focused, engaged, and spend more time within that system. But that could also lead to the dark patterns, which are not legally allowed. So, where is the balance between keeping users engaged and not letting them leave the platform if we are talking about it? And of course, algorithms, how our background algorithms work. Are we limiting abilities of our students? Are we allowing the system to guide them, or we are just blocking opportunities for their growth? Cybersecurity Act, by the way, today is Cyber Monday, which is dedicated to spending more money, not to cybersecurity of your work. ENISA is one of the agencies defined by the Cybersecurity Act, and ENISA's roles is to create some system of certification of ICT devices, ICT tools, so hardware and software as well, and offer information in a transparent manner. I'm really hoping that ENISA will have a huge progress in certificating those tools, because we in education could have a huge benefit if we know and have more information either about devices, either about programs used in education. Of course, part of ENISA roles is also raising awareness. So if you would like to do some cyber security activities, I would suggest that you contact Reach ENISA, look at their resources and try to use it within your own context. Data governance, Data Act, of course, talk about the access to the data, but it promotes sharing and interoperability and standardization of the use of data, not only within the education, but the huge systems. They are promoting data altruism. That means that all stakeholders, means students, teachers, parents, if we are talking about education, know the value of their data, know their rights regarding protection of their data, withdrawing the data. It's all written in GDPR, but also knowingly that decide to share those data, aiming for a greater cause. So to make those data available, of course, anonymized, and used for different analyses, either on a government level or international level. And the dearest AI Act, I think that from all those regulation I mentioned, this is the one you definitely have heard about it, because everybody's talking about the AI Act, how it will influence our everyday life. Are we, or Commission is blocking all the innovations in favor of regulations, or will this regulation will be good enough to protect education system, all the stakeholders in education? So those AI systems could intrude privacy, could intrude and interact with the right to education. And of course, we are already aware it could fortify long-standing prejudice against particular groups. You know, we in European Union have 27 languages, but there are big languages like English, French, Spanish, and there are small languages like Finnish, Croatian. So those small languages are not equally presented in AI tools. Actually, more than 1980% of all AI tools are based on an English language. That means the culture from all the minor countries are not represented there, and definitely results are not good. So, first of all, what is prohibited? Any subliminal techniques. So, hiding real cause and sending information, hiding that cause through different subliminal techniques towards the students, exploiting any vulnerabilities. And you are aware how vulnerable our students are because of their social, economical background, because of their disabilities, because of peer pressure. So yes, definitely very, very complex situation in our education systems. Also, it is prohibited to infer emotions. I mentioned reading unverbal signs. So this is completely forbidden in European Union and biometric categorization systems. And of course, especially based and making categorization and decisions about their race, political options, religion, sex life, and so on. AI Act, oops, sorry, wrong. So the Annex 3 of the AI Act talks specifically about the education. So it does mention system intended to access or admission to the level of education, evaluation of learning outcomes, assessing appropriate level of education, detecting prohibited behavior. On the right, this in a, let's say, orange text, is the some scenarios I am suggesting based on this annex. So whenever we talk about students' enrollment in any level of education, this is high-risk system. Any evaluation of the students' work, of achievement of learning outcomes, so automated grading systems are also high-risk AI systems. Monitoring, you know, the proctoring services which bloomed during the pandemic time, actually they're high-risk AI systems. So any decision made through those systems should be very, very strongly evaluated before it is used in education context. Then personalization, especially based on individual students' performance and behavior, because personalization is one of the highest promise of the AI tools. But if you want to have really personalized tool, that tool have to be fed with lots of personal data. And that means breaking the law. Also, predictions of the students' providers and potential academic outcomes. For example, it is often mentioned with the dropouts, then psychological support, emotional support, so different examples of a high-risk AI systems. Of course, there are different use of AI systems which may not be high risk. So, for example, narrow procedural tasks, sorting, identifying copies, Then language or grammar improvement, document styling. So those are narrow, very narrow tasks, and this is not understood as high risk system. And of course, translation, linking, referencing, and also comparing results of a human grading with some standard grading patterns. But this is not AI system doing the grading. Article 7 of AI Act prescribe criteria for evaluation of AI system, and my suggestion is please use it for any educational technology. So whenever you are using technology in education, here are some things you should have in mind as well. So is it appropriate for education? What kind of data is collected? How those data are used for? Is there a human in the loop? Does teacher have option to adjust that personalized algorithm? And the G says the extent to which person who are potentially harmed because of practical has option of opt out from that outcome. Well, students in the school doesn't have option of opt out. They're always opt in, and they have to use the whatever tools we are using in education. Also, vulnerable position of a student, how teachers could correct or change the AI system, and as I said in the final sentence, the magnitude and likelihood of benefit of the deployment of the AI system for individuals, groups, society at large. So is it helpful? Maybe we could use some other technology, maybe glue, paper, scissors, a better solution in this specific pedagogical approach and for achieving these learning outcomes. And my favorite article 86, which says, every user have the right to obtain from the deployer clear and meaningful explanations. So we have to keep asking developers what this system is working, how these algorithms are working, and human oversight. So it is imperative to have a human in the loop in all applications of AI system in education. After this short guide through all the regulations, I don't see any familiar name from the Croatia right now, but sorry, I don't see the whole list. But anyway, this moment I'm mentioning and describing one of the handbook we created in Croatia. So it's written in Croatian language, unfortunately not yet available in English language, but AI tools are good for translation. So if you're interested, you could briefly get translated the context, or maybe you understand the language. So here are the list of my colleagues who participated in the creation of this handbook. And I'm not going to lead you through the whole handbook, but just to mention some chapters, some questions, some dilemmas in the chapter regarding activities for the teachers. So we, in that part of the handbook, mention some activities which are already present as what teachers are using AI for. So one of the first one is using the AI tools to create educational content. So regarding such an example of use, so the question is, could you really rely on that content? Or maybe the content contains so many errors and mistakes, you have to correct it, and as they said, yeah, write better prompt. I'm sorry, but prompting is not the skill the teachers need to. Your skills, a methodological, pedagogical approach, how to spark motivation and interesting among our students. So one of the example my colleagues mentioned was a food chain as example in biology. So try to get illustration of a food chain, for example, terrestrial food chain, and see what will you get from a different AI tools. Good luck with that. What are the common mistakes? In some examples, you will get perfectly good results, but maybe you will spend a lot of time trying to get that good result, and you already realize that, yeah, you could do it with your own abilities and competences and create that result few hours ago without that specific AI tool. And of course, for some sort of the content, AI is better, for something is worse. So pay attention. So whatever you are doing. And of course, if you are creating illustration, please have in mind that all AI tools are strongly biased against female, against people with a darker skin, and many, many other biases already built in. Then assessment. You notice that AI Act is actually talking about the assessment of the student's work and put it as a high risk. High risk means that all the system have to be evaluated by those Article 7 criteria I mentioned before it is used in education. So you have to have strong arguments and justification why this system is used in education and have lots of consents from different levels of educational authorities, students, parents to be able to use such a system. But we could use that system to create rubrics, so it's not directly interacting with the students' work. Also, there are several ethical challenges. One of those is you actually doesn't have a right to share students' work with the AI tools because that is breaking of GDPR. Also, all the content you are sharing with the AI tools could be later on used for the training of that AI tools. That means further on sharing and spreading students' data outside of the European Union. Also, pedagogical appropriateness. And at the end of the assessment, you are the one who is accountable for any kind of AI assessment. So you're the one who is responsible for explaining why that grade was given for that work. You can't say, oh, sorry, AI gave you that grade, because no, this is not possible in education. Also, how would you react if you know that your job application is assessed by the AI tools? Because this is also forbidden in the based on the AI Act. So let's think about the sensitivity of the assessment, importance of the human feedback, importance of supporting students' development from another human, from a teacher, because it is lovely to get automated feedback instantly at the same time. But what one of the kids says, yeah, but I still like that my teachers have a trust in me and said, yeah, you did a great job. There is no AI tool that could do that instead of you. Supporting adaptation. I already mentioned that if you really want to have personalized tool, you have to feed it with lots of personal information. That means medical diagnosis of the students, social background. So very, very complex question. And also, um, are we creating opportunities to support? So, is those resources for the students with specific educational needs fairly available? Because right now it's not. A lot of people are talking about the reading support um, from different AI tools, but it doesn't work for different languages. So we actually are not supporting. And of course, our students have a very specific, very unique um, context they're raising up, they're working. So all that have to have in mind. So besides with sharing such information with the students, with the system, with the parents, so are we going to create another level of discrimination for the students for the special needs? Let's think about it. This is the way of using AI to support so teachers' development. So one of the very good example, I would say, is sharing your lesson plan with the AI tool and getting feedback from that AI tool saying, oh, Lydia, you didn't achieve that learning outcome. You achieved those two, but the third one is not present here in those activities. Or I think you planned good enough activities. There are enough interactions, enough students supporting, but maybe you're not going to achieve all that in 45 minutes or so on. So this is great. Why not? Tell me what's good or what's bad in my lesson plan, of course, if the tool is properly fit with the curriculum we are using in a different education system. I know that you're aware that all 27 member states in European Union have different education systems. But there is another level which I already stumbled upon is video recording, so instantaneously video monitoring teachers' work in the classroom and AI tool giving the feedback. So how would you feel if you know that camera is monitoring whatever you do in the classroom with the students and that this recording will be analyzed by the AI tool? I wouldn't feel well. For any of those examples, I would really appreciate that my fellow colleague come to my classroom, sit with me, work with me, support my further development, help me in finding good solutions for the specific classroom, for the specific students, instead of those AI tools. And by the way, this way of using AI system is forbidden within the European Union. So ethical challenges could work both ways when we are target of these AI systems and when students are target of that AI systems. And of course, if we are going to use AI system for this and for that, are we going to forget how some things are done? I don't know how many of our students today know how to create a garden, how to put seeds in the garden, how to grow vegetables, because this is the skill we doesn't need anymore. This is the thing which we could buy in the shop. Also, the funny thing is, okay, what is part of my brain which was dedicated to remember all those phone numbers 15 years ago is working right now, because I have no skill of remembering phone numbers anymore. And this is kind of okay. I don't know how is your skill for remembering phone numbers, still alive or not. So what we are going to forget because of the use of AI tools? Are we in danger to make us more stupid because of that tool? Because we overlap, oh, okay, this tool will do that, this tool will do that. I don't have to know this. I don't have to develop those competencies. I could forget if I already knew it. So yeah, maybe we are already in the risk. If you haven't, I cordially invite you to read European Commission ethical guidelines on the use of AI in education. I was part of the team who wrote these guidelines, and although it was written 2 years ago, it is still very, very relevant and give you ideas what questions to keep asking yourself, school authorities, developers, and just keep asking and keep pushing, because if we doesn't ask, nobody will care about our opinion. Also, if you are not involved in European Digital Education Hub, also invitation to join. Right now is in progress our second one of the AI squad. This is the first one which was active last year and which developed one of the report covering different areas of use of AI in education. So if you have time, please read it and be active in EDA as well. So as a wrap up of my presentation, so who is deciding what will be outsourced to AI? I heard several examples already saying, yeah, there is a teacher shortage, let's put AI there. I'm sorry, but the problem of teacher shortage is not solved by the AI tools. It is solved by a better support from the government, more money, and strong support for future teachers to get their certificates, get their diplomas, and get into the classroom. So are we creating opportunity for our cognitive atrophy, forgetting how to do things, how to create interactive content, how to create excellent activities which will motivate our students to get involved. Also, who and what deserves our effort? Today, I could send you an AI podcast tool created on this presentation. I shouldn't be here, but you deserve my time. So this is why I'm here. The similar thing is between you and your students. So which activities with the students deserve your time, deserve your effort, or which you will happily dump to the AI tool to make it. And if we are not part of the decision about what AI tools do in education, then we are part of the problem. So, regarding any technology in education, just because we could, just because we have such option, just because this technology is available doesn't mean we should use it, because sometimes there are better solutions for the context you are working in. If you would like to connect with me, this QR code will lead you to my LinkedIn profile, and I hope we'll stay in touch and exchange information in the future. And this final slide is also created by one of the AI tools, and here you could recognize one of my favorite things as in the almost first slide. So Hogwarts, Doctor Who, and hvala means thank you in Croatian. Teodora, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for, first of all, for the time that you dedicated to the members of this group. Thank you for the timing and the density of the information. I am sure all this content is, for me, it is still so hard to grasp. I think these are quite new notions for the majority of teachers, but we are gradually getting to a point where we are becoming more and more familiar with AI, and most importantly about its ethics, as you mentioned in this beautiful presentation. So the recording will be posted on the English as a Second Language group. There will be a forum about ethics and AI, as there is a page devoted to artificial intelligence tools to be used. I would like to thank you again for accepting our invitation, for being with us, and for shedding light on some of these controversial topics, such as the ethics of the whole thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear e-twiners, for being with us today. Hope we see you in more activities to come. Have a nice evening.